on Tuesday morning about 5 o'clock in the morning. I got a busy day, so I thought I would come over and start studying up this wall, finishing this wall. I finished the back wall. I didn't have that on video. I just came over real quick, I had some time, and I framed that up. And what we're going to do is we're going to start framing over here. I've got it laid out already, the distances that I need, 16-inch on center. And I think first of all I'm going to put my plate in and work from right to left and build a corner when I get over there. So let's get the first board in. I'm marking where this stud is right here so that I can get a screw started before I set it. Okay, from here, I've got 16-inch centers. This is 8 feet right here from the corner. And the mark is about 3 inches off of the corner for the next stud. But I'm not going to put one there because I got to have room in here for the light switches. So I'm going to put it 12 inches off, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to continue on across and start with putting my 16-inch centers, continuing with the flow, because whatever I put on the wall, it's got to run around the door. I'm going to work from this end over and work this way installing. So whatever it is, sheetrock, siding, whatever it is, I'm going to put up here. So the next 16-inch center is right here. It's basically on this stud right here. And we'll see how that's going to work. I may have a little bit of an issue right there with that one because it is on the metal pole. I might have to make it just a little bit off center. And if it is, it is. If I have to scab it, I can scab it on each side if I have to butt up against it. Okay, so that's how we're going to fix that. Got some more insulation up here I got to get off. Get my trusty tool. I've had this little scraper for a long time, 40, 50 years. Never used it much until now. Up in case we got to come back later. Okay. Where's my pencil? Oh, it's right here. Okey-doke. We're just going to put it right here next to the metal stud. Mark it there, and mark it there. A couple of screws started. This is just a limb cutter. Trim off that foam sticking out too much. Okay, so I've got one more stud before I get to the corner. And it's going to be a pretty tight fit if I put that stud in first. So I'm going to just go ahead and build the corner and then put in that last stud. So let me get my scrap material for that. Now I'm going to put these braces in here that go in between separators, I guess you'd call them, expansions. Okay. Got that done. Now I think I'm gonna measure again, come over there to make sure that at least I'm on a 4-foot center when I get over here. I want to make sure that I've got my stud on it. If I need to, like a 4-foot panel or an 8-foot piece of sheetrock, whatever it is I'm going to put over here. So I'm going to take one more measurement to make sure that everything's where it should be. Okay, so I have put down my measuring tape to check the 4-foot widths on center. I've got 4 feet here that I'm going to have to put a stud in, and I'll have to stud it up here as well. And then the next one is 8 foot. This one looks really good. And then we continue on, and then we get to the 12 foot, and I'm gonna have to build in this header and put me a stud in here for the 12 foot mark. The 16 foot mark is right on, we're good. It goes all the way to the top. And the rest of it is not 4 feet out, so it's going to fit in just like I want it. So I've got to build in this and the header, and then the header over the door. But I'm not going to do that right now because I do have all of these pre-cut studs that I'm going to go ahead. I've got 2, 4, 6, 7. I think I'll start on that end and work this way because I do know I have, and I want, when I do put the siding up or sheetrock or whatever it is I'm going to put up there in 4-layer sheets, I'm going to start from that corner and come this way. And then I'll do this wall, I'll start from this corner and go this way. So I think I'm going to start over there and put 7 studs in until I run out, and then I'll see how many more I need to finish the wall, and then I can determine what I need for the top plates. Okay, so let's get set up for that. I'm all set up. I'll just let my tape down. And I can just use that after I mark it to verify what I mark. I really do like this epoxy floor. It's so easy to keep clean. What you didn't see is I swept all of the stuff, all the styrofoam up, and other debris that I had before. And this epoxy floor is really nice. Garage experts of Knoxville put this down for me, and I love it. It is very nice, and it's very easy to maintain, and I'm looking forward to it being matching everything I'm going to put in here. So let's keep on with the studs. We'll do the same thing. We'll put it in place right here and kind of mark where we want to start these screws and put into this plate. Okay, so I'm at an 8-foot length right here, which covers this window, and I'll do that later. Okay, that was my last stud. So now I'm just going to measure out how many more studs I got to finish this wall before I can start putting in the top plates. Okay, so I counted and I need 11 more boards, studs, 92 by 5/8. And it is about 6:45 now. And it's going to be getting daylight out here pretty soon. And I can see the sky. I don't know if you can, but that means I go work outside now. So it's getting daylight, so let's go on to the next thing.